A little while back, Terry King over on the Robotic Allotment Gardener set up a little challenge for the hashtag Ugly Parsnip Challenge. If you haven't been over there, go and have a look. But I dug a parsnip up a few weeks ago now. It was actually in a waste bin line, I'd put it. And have a look what you think of this one. It's a bit obscene, looks like a male torso. Obviously we're still into March and it is cold. After all that strenuous exertion of shoveling the manure, I thought I'd have a bit of chill out time, and nothing better than some seed sowing. But before we do, I'll just give you a little tour of the progress of the seedlings we've sowed the earlier episode. The shallots I'm starting to fire slowly now, one by one. You can see the green shoots starting to appear. And I'm looking on the label, I was planted on the 28th of February. Moving on is the Musselburgh leeks, and that's done a decent germination on there. Soil's a bit green, but that's nothing to worry about, and they tend to look after themselves, they do. Went down to here, here's my Cornish giant cabbage, and out of the 8 sown, there's 7 germinated, so we can't mind at that. And then across the old Bunyard's exhibition broad beans, they're starting to wake up, poking their heads up. The thing which I was bothered about was my garlic chives, which was very, very slow, but I can just about see them now, just starting to pop their heads up, so at least I know they're on the way. I'll just pop her into the other greenhouse and show you what's happening in there. This is the cucumber market more. The last one's just started to poke its head up, so I've got 9 out of 9 germination on that, so I'm very, very happy with the cucumbers. Moving across here, we have the tomato, the rainbow blend, and looks like good germination there. I'm not sure how many I put in. Moving across, we've got some cosmos. That's starting to shoot up now. So I've never ever grown this before, so it'll be interesting to see how it performs. Onto the Crimson Crush. And there's 8 germinated out of the 10 seeds, so 80%. Again, not 100% germination, but that'll do for what I need. It's time to get the peas underway, and the first lot I'm sowing this year is Kelvedon Wonder. As usual, I'll get these from my local market in a place called Penkridge, half a pint. And I usually put them in a little jar. Give them a soak overnight, and then we'll start sowing these tomorrow. I'll just top the jar up first. It'll be amazing how much they do swell up and take the water in, which for me works quite well because it helps them germinate that fast as soon as they hit the soil. So they'll be in for more or less 24 hours, and then we'll sow them a bit later on tomorrow. First up on the anvil is going to be the Zebrune Shallots. Now I grew these for the first time last year, and it was after a recommendation of watching Dan because he had a great crop. But surprisingly, I also had a really good crop, harvested well, and when I did harvest them, I just put them in my greenhouse in the garden, left them on a tray, didn't separate them or nothing, just left them lying there, and every last shallot was firm when I picked it. And the last shallot was actually only used about 4 weeks ago, so these have become a firm favourite. So I'm not sure how many I'll be sowing of these. It'll be quite a lot, I think. Let's have a look. First job is to get the labelling tape on, so I can mark wherever we use. Let's pop it on there at the end, push it down. All we're going to do then is mark with a Sharpie where the row ends. As usual, this is the Levington F2 plus S I'll be filling the cell with. Beautiful. All we need to do now is put a little depression in the top with our fingers. Then it's just the usual technique of one seed per hole, and hopefully they'll germinate. So I'll just give those a quick spray now, and what I'll do next is just top the holes up with compost. As you saw from the clip earlier, the broad beans are starting to poke their heads up above the soil now. I don't like leaving them in the greenhouse for too long as they tend to go a bit leggy, so I thought I'd better get the bed ready. Now this bed here is what I grow them in every year, never change it. All I do in the autumn is put a top dressing of manure and straw on. That's dried out lovely now, so I'm just about to turn it in. Well, that's turned over now as is, and it will stay like that now until plant out. What I might do a few days before I've actually planted the beans out, I'll give it a dressing of the fast grow fertiliser. You may recall I had a sent on trial from over in Ireland, so that'll be the next thing for this bed. The last thing for this one today is I'm going to do a trial on these potato buckets. These are 30 litre, and I'll be putting in Swift, probably 4 tubers in each. In this one I'll be using a mix with 6X manure, the concentrated manure, and in this one I'll be using, you may recall, the fast grow fertiliser that I had sent from Ireland. So there'll be 6X mix in here and the fast grow fertiliser in here, and the compost I'll be using is from Wicks. I've half filled the buckets roughly to the same level with, as I said, the Wicks compost. Now I'm just going to mix the added ingredients. First of all, the one at the back there is the 6X. I'll just put a handful of the 6X and mix it. This is the 6X manure, the concentrate. So I'll just be adding a handful of that into there and mix it up. This is the similar bag of fast grow fertiliser. I'll just put it out for the bucket. I could get a good handful. There we go, and just scatter those in and mix them into the bucket as well. These are the 8 Swift tubers that I'll be using. As you can see, they're quite uniform in size, so I don't think one will have any advantage over the other. And they've all got fairly different spruts on them, so we'll get them into the bucket. Okay, I've just topped the first bucket up now to the level, which is the fast grow fertiliser. Now I never top my buckets right up to the top. I always leave a little rim around here which allow to act as like a reservoir for when you water, so you can get plenty of water in to sink through and actually soak the potatoes. So I'm going to add another handful of the fast grow fertiliser in. Hopefully you'll see along the bottom of the screen the application rates and also the NPK values, and plus a whole lot more. Shane sent these across a few days after the parcel arrived, so just take a note of them if you ever use this stuff. Now this is the 6X bucket, and I've topped the compost level up as best as I can, equal to the other one by eye. And so what I'll do now is just get a another handful of 6x. For those of you not familiar with this is 6x farmyard manure it's called. It's allegedly 6 times more powerful than natural manure, and you can now buy it in the pelleted form. I've been using this for years and I really rate it. It's quite good, so this will prove an interesting comparison to the other fertiliser we've got, the fast grow. Something you might find a useful tip when planting in buckets, because I know a lot of people now do use buckets for planting on 2 different levels. The first level I put in, I always put them in line with the handles, so one will go there, one will go there. So now I'm onto my second layer. I know that the other tuber will need to go into here and here. So they now are equally spaced around the bucket. Although the ground hasn't quite warmed up enough yet outside, I brought my little tank in and I'm going to do my first sowing of carrots, sweet candle. The compost in here is just old potato soil that I grew last year with potatoes out the bucket, so just leveled that off. What I'll do is add some coffee grounds, and a bit of blood fish and bone. I'll just mix it up. This year I thought I'd try a little different method to grow my carrot to what I usually do, and I'm going to try a similar method to the way I do my parsnips. I've got this little dibber here, and I thought if I put that into the bed and actually sow the carrot in some decent soil for that, if I get a carrot that size, I'll be more than happy. I'm just going to put the hole down roughly to the first ridge on the dibber, and as I say, we'll put some decent compost in there and see how it goes. The compost of choice for filling the holes up in the carrot boxes is clover. It's the first time I've ever used it. I've just run it through the sieve and I must say I'm quite impressed. There's not all that much lumps or anything in it, and it's come out very fine. So I'll be potting that now into the carrot box. This is just a normal drinks bottle which I've chopped the top off, and the neck fits perfectly into the holes of the carrot box, and it acts as a lovely funnel. What I'll do is just add a little bit of soil at a time, put it in the hole and give it a shake, and it fills the hole up lovely. So that's the box now, and the hole's filled in with the sifted compost. Before I actually sow the carrot seeds, what I'll do is give it a light misting over with a spray bottle, just to make sure that the soil is damp, which the seed touches. I'll be sowing about between 3 and 4 seeds per station, and I'll thin them out to the best seedling as and when they show. All that's left now is to top the holes up and give them a watering, and that's done. First sowing of the candle this year. I'll just give those a little spray with water, and I'll put a piece of glass over the top for a few days just to warm the soil up. That's about it for this one again. I just can't believe how quickly the time goes. While I'm here, I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone who commented on my last video with the recovering of the polytunnel, the green team. And also again, Pam Kemp for that huge, massive gift. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody what said anything to the green team, because they're a great bunch of guys, and I'm sure we'll see them again in the near future during the season. So until next time, see you later. Bye for now.